Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make the Apple Watch. Oh, and by the way, just in case you guys are interested, I have also made the iPhone, the iPad, and the Apple logo, which I will leave links for both in the guard system and in the description below. Moving on to the Apple Watch, if you want to make it, here's what you're going to need. You will need some cyan stained clay, and grab yourself some black wool, dark grey wool, light grey wool, white wool, red wool, orange wool, lime green wool, and finally grab yourself some cyan wool. And luckily for us, those are the only materials that we're going to be needing. So once you have each one of those, and once you've figured out what you want to make it, I'll be making it right here, you're going to want to kick off your watch with a row of 26 cyan stained clay coming directly up from the ground. That's 2, 6, 26. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Boom! A row of 26 cyan stained clay coming directly up from the ground. What you then want to do from this 26th block is 2 up left diagonals with your cyan. So that's 1 and 2. Then place a black wool on top of that second up left diagonal. Then go left of it by 2 with your black. 1, 2. Then do an up left diagonal. Then go left by 1. Then up by 1. Then do an up left diagonal. And go up on top of it by 37. That's 3, 7, 37. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37. Perfect. Once you have your row of 37 black wool, you then want to do an upright diagonal, then go up on top of it by 1, then go right by 1, then do an upright diagonal, go right of it by 2, 1, 2, then take out your cyan stained clay and go up by 1. Then do 2 upright diagonals with your clay. 1, 2. Then go up on top of that second upright diagonal by 9. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Then do 2 upright diagonals. So that's 1 and 2. Then go right of that second upright diagonal by 19, 1, 9, 19. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Then from this 19th block, do 2 bottom right diagonals. So that's 1 and 2. Then go down from that second bottom right diagonal by 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Then do 2 bottom right diagonals. 1, 2. Then place a black wool underneath that second bottom right diagonal. Now you want to go right of this black wool by 2, 1, 2. But you also want to go left of that black wool until you connect all the way back over to the left hand side there, and that will just form the top of the screen of the watch. So you just want to have something which should look like this. Kind of looks like a chimney. Once you've done that, you now want to return back over to this right sand hide here is what I was going to say, this right sand hide, and you want to, from this second block going right, do a bottom right diagonal. Then go right by 1. Then go down by 1. Then do a bottom right diagonal. And go down from that diagonal by 13. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Then going right of this 13th block, do a cyan stained clay. On top of that cyan stained clay, do 1 light grey, 2 white wool, 1 light grey, 1 cyan to give you this row. What you then want to do is do a row of 4 cyan clay going right of each one of those light grey / white blocks. What you then want to do is return back down to this 13th block with your black wool, and going down from this 13th block you want to do a row of 18 black wool. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Like so. And then what you then want to do, going up and right of that row of 18 black wool, starting from the bottom, do a row of 11 cyan stained clay. So coming up from the right, 1, 2, whoops, that's the wrong material. Cyan stained clay. Row of 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. There we go. So what you want to have, and this takes a little zooming out, guys, hang on, what you want to have is something that should look so far like this. What you then want to do is take out your black wool, and starting from this bottom block that we placed earlier, this 18th block, and go down by 6. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then do a bottom left diagonal, and go down by 1. Then go left by 1. Then do a bottom left diagonal, and go left by 2. 1, 2. You then want to take out your cyan stained clay and go down from that second block by 1. Then do 2 bottom left diagonals, so that's 1 and 2. Then go down from that second bottom left diagonal all the way down until you eventually hit the floor with your cyan stained clay. Like so. So once you eventually hit the floor, like that, that's the other side of the strap. But what you also want to do is take out your black wool again, and going left of this second black wool that we started going down from, you just want to connect that black wool all the way over to the left hand side of the watch to give you something which should look, and let me see if I can zoom out far enough, guys, because this thing's kind of big, to give you something which should look a little bit like this. And this is the basic outline for the watch. Once you've reached this point right here, this is what we want to do next. So the straps are really easy. There's no detail involved in those whatsoever. All of the work is going to go into the screen. So what we now want to do is we want to take out our white wool, and we want to do this. So we want to do this with our white wool. Let me just kind of do it. What we essentially want to do is we want to do a row of white wool on top of the bottom black part of the screen, and we also want to come up a little bit on the side as well. So you kind of want to have kind of like a smiley face shape, kind of just like a smile shape. We just have white on the bottom, then a single white coming up following along the outline, then 2 white wool either side coming up. What we then want to do is take out our light grey wool, and we want to come all the way up the sides, both sides, and we also want to place a light grey just here in the corner, and we also want to place 4 light grey coming in on the top. So that's like 1, 2, 3, 4, like so. And we also want to do the exact same thing on the right hand side as well. So coming up the right hand side, we want to do a long row of light grey wool, then 1 in the corner, and then 4 coming towards the center underneath the top. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we want to take out our white wool, and we just want to do a long middle row of white wool, kind of just connecting everything together. And what we want to end up with is something that should look a little bit like this, if you guys can see what I've done there. Kind of difficult to explain really, but that's exactly what you want to have. White wool all along the bottom, light grey coming up the sides, coming in by 4 at the top with light grey wool, and then white wool everywhere else. What you then want to do once you have this is take out your cyan stained clay, and coming in further still, you kind of want to do a layer of cyan stained clay that goes all the way around the inside of what you've just made, and it wants to connect at the corners as well. So if you guys can see what's happening at the corners, you kind of just want everything connected together when it comes to your cyan stained clay, which is exactly what I'm doing. And I'll just show you guys how this looks in just a moment, of course, but let me just do it. I've just got to connect all the way to the bottom left hand side, and I can show you how that looks. So what you want to end up with for the screen is something that should look exactly like this, and that is of course just the little metal bit that kind of goes all the way around the outside of the screen. So once you've got that taken care of, and pause this if necessary if you're still working on any of that of course, we can then move on to the next bit. So it's now time for us to actually fill in the screen with the various apps and such that we have on there. So you want to take out your black wall, come all the way down to the bottom left hand corner of the screen, and going right of this cyan stained clay that we have right here, you want to do a row of 16 black walls. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Going right, like that. What you then want to do on top of these 15th and 16th blocks is you want to stack 5 rows of 2 black walls. So that'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like that. On top of this 5th row, stack a row of 2 white. Then on top of this left hand block, do a red wall. On top of the right hand block, do a cyan. Then on top of the red wall, do an orange. On top of the cyan, do a lime green. On top of both of those, do white wall. And then you also want to do 2 white wall going left and right of your various colours to give you something which should look like this. That's what one of the smaller apps will look like. What you then want to do is take out your black wall, and going on top of these 2 top white wall right here, we want to stack 6 more rows of 2 black walls. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Like so. Then stack a row of 2 white on top of that row of 6. What you then want to do, my god, I don't know what that was. What you then want to do is go left of this left-hand white block and go left by 1. Then do an up left diagonal and go up by 3. 1, 2, 3. Then do an up right diagonal and go right by 3. 1, 2, 3. Then do a bottom right diagonal and go down by 3. 1, 2, 3. Then do a bottom left diagonal to connect everything back together, and what you'll end up with is something that should look exactly like this. And this is the big center little watch timer app thing in the center of your watch. What you then want to do is take out your black wall, come all the way up to the top of the outline that you've just made, and on top of these 2 middle blocks that we have right here, stack 6 rows of 2 black walls. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then do a row of 2 white wall. Then on top of the left block, do a dark grey. On top of the right one, do a black. On top of the dark grey, do a black. On top of the black, do a dark grey. Then do 2 red on top of each one of those walls. Then take out your white wall and do white going left and right of your black / dark grey, like so. What you then want to do is going up on top of these 2 red wall right here, stack 3 rows of 2 black walls. So that's 1, 2, 3. Going left of this left hand black wall, do 1 black wall, then 1 dark grey. Going right of the black wall, do 1 black wall and 1 white wall. And what you want to have in total, guys, is something which should look a little bit like this. Looks a little weird now, guys, but trust me, it's going to look really good a little later on. What you now want to do is this. So we want to come all the way down to where we kind of first started with this, where we have this app right here, and you want to count down 2 into this black wall. So this will be 1 and 2. Then going right of this second black wall, do a black wall. Then do a red wall. Then going left of this black wall that we have on the left hand side here, you want to do a black wall followed by a dark grey, like so. So you just want to have something which should look like this. Once you've done that, this is what you want to do next. So going left of these 2 white wall that we have at this bottom center app, you want to do 2 rows of 2 black. So going left, 1, 2. Then with your light grey wall, do 2 light grey, still going left. You then, starting from this bottom light grey wall, want to do a bottom left diagonal. Then go left by 1. Then do an up left diagonal. Go up by 1, up right diagonal, right by 1. Like that. You then want to take this bottom left hand side light grey block and going left of it do 2 black wool. 1, 2. Then a cyan wool. Like so. Once you've done this on the left hand side, we now want to do something similar on the right hand side. So coming over to the right now, going right of these 2 middle white blocks right here, you want to do 2 rows of 2 black. 1, 2. You then, going right of this bottom black wool, want to do a lime green. On top of that lime green, do a cyan. Upright diagonally of that cyan, do a red wool. Then go right by 1. Then, with your cyan, do a bottom right diagonal. Do a lime green underneath it. With your orange, do a bottom left diagonal. Then go left by 1. You then, going right of this right hand lime green block, want to do 2 black wool. 1, 2. Followed by 1 white wool. And what we have right here, guys, once that's finished, is we have pretty much an entire row of apps complete. We now have a few more rows of these to do. We have about 4 more rows. Let's continue. Once you've done that, this is what you want to do next. So, where we have this row of 6 black right here, you want to locate the 2 middle blocks in your row of 6 black, and going left of the 2 middle blocks do 2 black wool. So that'll be 1 and 1 going left, like that. You then want to do 2 red wool going left. Then do a bottom left diagonal from the bottom red wool. Then go left by 1. Then do an up left diagonal. And go up by 1. Then do an upright diagonal. And go right by 1. Then take out your black wool and going left of these 2 left hand middle red wool, do a row of 2 black. Followed by a row of 2 lime green. Then from the bottom lime green, do a bottom left diagonal. Then go left. Then do an up left diagonal. Then go up. Then an upright diagonal. Then go right by 1. Like so. And that is what you want to have on the left hand side. Now going to the right hand side, starting from these 2 middle black wool blocks again, do 2 black wool. Then do a row of 2 lime green. Then we're going to form the app shape, so starting from the bottom right diagonal, right by 1, up right diagonal, up by 1, up left diagonal, left by 1, like that. Then we take out our black wool, and going right of these 2 middle lime green wool, we do 2 black. Then we take out our cyan and do a row of cyan, and then we form the app shape again, so bottom right diagonal, go right by 1, up right diagonal, up by 1, up left diagonal, left by 1. And that is another row of apps complete, guys. This is what we have so far. Moving on. What we now want to do is come all the way up to this middle white app that we have right here, and going left of these 2 middle white wool blocks that we have on the left hand side is we want to do 2 black wool. Then go left of those black wools by 1 with your orange. 1, 1. Then form the app shape, so this bottom block, bottom left diagonal, left 1, up left diagonal, up 1, up right diagonal, right 1. Like that. What you then want to do is going left of this bottom left hand orange wool that we have right here, do 2 black wool going left, 1, 2, and then 1 orange wool. And that is what you want to have for the left hand side, guys. Nice and simple. Once you've got that taken care of, we can now move on to the right hand side, and the right hand side is actually the exact same. So right of these 2 middle white blocks right here, we do 2 black wool, then 2 orange wool. We then form the app shape, so we just do our diagonals and we form our little box with our orange wool. I don't think I have to describe the shape again, like that. We then want to go right of this bottom right hand orange wool, 2 with black, 1, 2, and then 1 with orange, and that will take care of that middle row, guys. Nice and simple. Once you've got that taken care of, we can then move up to the next row. So coming up now, we want to start off by going left of these 2 middle blocks in our row of 6 black wool by 1 with our black. So the 2 middle blocks, 1 and 1 going left. You then want to take out your red wool and go left by 1 with your red. then form the app shape. So we're just doing the little box, bottom left diagonal, left 1, up left diagonal, up 1, etc, etc, until you form the little box shape, like that. We then want to continue going left of that app by 1 with the black. We then want to take out our white wool and continue going left by 1 with the white. And then we just want to form the app shape again, guys. And I know I'm doing this kind of quickly now, guys, but it's really simple. I mean, once you've done it for a couple of rows, I'm sure that you guys can understand that it's pretty much the exact same thing, just using different colors. We're just making the same shape over and over again, same distance away, etc, etc. So that is the left hand side done now. We're now going to move on to the right hand side, and going right of these two middle blocks, we want to do a black wool. We then want to do a row of cyan, and then we want to form the app shape, which you guys are well aware with right now, the little box shape. We then want to take out the black wool and go right of those two right hand cyan. We then want to take out the lime green and do a row of lime green, and then we just want to form the exact same shape that we formed about 50 times already with our lime green wool to complete the row and give you something which should look exactly like this. Nice and simple, guys. Once you've got that taken care of, we can then move on to the final row. So coming all the way up to this top app that we have right here, this kind of like white, grey and black app. What we then want to do is go left of these two left-hand white wool that we have right here by 2 with our black. So that's 2 rows of 2. 1, 2. We then want to do a layer of cyan. And then, of course, we want to form the app shape. So you then just want to form the app shape. You guys know how to do it by now, like so. We then want to take this top left-hand corner of the app, this one right here, and we want to go left of this by 2 with our black. 1, 2. And then we want to do a lime green wool. And just to show you what that left-hand row should look like, there you go, guys. Nice and easy. We now want to do a similar thing on the right hand side. So coming to the right hand side of this middle app now, where we have these 2 white wool, do your 2 rows of 2 black wool. 1, 2. Then do your layer of light grey. Then starting from this top hand block, of course, we just want to form the app shape again. It's the exact same shape that we've done 52 times already. Like so. Then we want to take this top right hand corner block, this one right here, go right of it by 2 with our black. 1, 2, and then do a white wool. And once you've done that, you have actually completed the top row of apps. There you go, guys. And once you've got that taken care of, you have actually completed the outlines for every single one of the apps. You've actually done a load of them. Take a look at this, guys. Perfect. That's exactly what we want. What we're now going to do is we're now going to fill all of these in. So the reason that I didn't fill them in at the time is because a load of them are really simple. They only require a little bit of white wool here and there. Most of them are only going to get filled in with white wool, but a lot of them will take a little bit more than that. So let me just show you how this is going to work. So I'm just going to fill in row by row the apps, and I want you guys to pause this video where necessary, fill in each one of the individual apps with what they've got to be filled in by, and then you can continue on. So this is the bottom row. Pause this if necessary, of course, apply everything that you see on the screen onto your very own apps. Once you've got that taken care of, you can then jolt up a row. So, moving up to the next row here, like I was saying, a lot of these are kind of really simple, but some of them do require a little bit more, and I didn't really feel like building them into them whilst we were doing it, if you guys can understand my meaning. I didn't really want to have to go through all of the extra rigmarole to build the apps whilst we were actually building the outlines and kind of like setting the template. I figured it'd be easier to do it after. So this is the second row of apps, guys, coming up from the bottom. Right hand side's really easy, left hand side a little bit more difficult, but still really easy. Pause this if necessary, of course, apply everything that you can see right here on the second row. Once you've done it, hit play on the video again, and then we can move on to the next row. So, the next row here in the middle row, this one's ever so slightly trickier than the rest just because we've got this middle clock here, but it's still very easy, guys. It's basically just a diagonal row of black wool with a little bit of red, then we fill the entire center in with white, and then the 2 orange apps on the left and right hand sides, we've just got to fill those in with white. Really simple color schemes, guys, going with all of these. So this is what you want to have for the next row, guys, the middle row of your phone. Of your watch. Very simple. Pause this if necessary, of course. Apply everything that you see there. Once you've done that, press play. You can continue on. Now moving up to this next row. This next row is ever so slightly different. And by the way, guys, the reason that I didn't make these apps any bigger or any more detailed is because if you try to get too detailed, if you try to get too big with the Apple Watch, it kind of... Because I've made the phone and because I've made the iPad, I didn't really want to, take it out of scale. I wanted it to be smaller than both of those, and that's the next row, by the way. Pause this if necessary, of course. Apply everything that you see here. Once you've got that row taken care of, we can then move up to the final row. So, pause if necessary, press play, move on to the next row. So coming up to the final row here, yeah, I wanted to keep everything kind of in perspective. I wanted you guys to be able to have all 3 of my builds in your world and have them all scale with each other. It obviously make no sense whatsoever if like the iPad was smaller than the iWatch and if the iPhone was as big as all of them, if you guys can get my meaning. So that is the top row of apps for your Apple Watch. Pause this if necessary, of course, apply everything that you see there, and once you have actually done that, you've filled in every single one of your apps, guys, and what that'll end up looking like is something that should look exactly like this. It kind of looks like a really bare Christmas tree with like no leaves whatsoever, and instead of leaves, we just have apps and apps everywhere. Perfect. Doesn't that look nice? That looks great, and it'll look even better once we've actually filled in the area. So once you've reached this point right here, once you have added all of the apps in, once you've got the outline entirely done, all we have to do now to complete our watch, guys, is we have to fill the screen in with black wool, and we have to fill the straps in with white wool. Those are the only differences, guys. So that is exactly what I'm going to do. Let me come back in just a moment once all of that's finished. It's really simple to do, requires no instruction whatsoever. Alright guys, so this is what your Apple Watch should look like once it has been 100% fully filled in. You'll just have to excuse all of the other things in the background. This is the original Apple Watch that I made. I didn't really feel it necessary to fill in that other one when I could just as easily show you this one right here, which looks the exact same. So as I mentioned, all you have to do is completely fill the screen in with black wool, and you just have to fill the straps in with white wool. It is as easy as that, guys. Nothing difficult about it whatsoever. Hopefully you guys like this. Hopefully you've managed to make it for yourself, more importantly. If you did like it, guys, I would really appreciate it if you could give me a like, favorite, share, absolutely anything you would feel like doing to help me out. I would really appreciate it, guys. I love it when you show me love. It was kind of difficult to make this one, guys. It was more difficult than the iPad to make because all of the apps had to be centered, they had to look good, and I think that I've actually done a pretty decent job, not to toot my own horn. If you guys want to, leave down in the comments below, what would you like to see me build next? I've made the Apple Watch, I've made the iPad, I've done the Apple logo, I've done the iPhone. I'm not sure what's left. I guess I could make a laptop or a PC or something, but that might be a little hard. Feel free to leave down in the comments what you guys want to see me make. Feel free to check out the card system and the links below down in the description for all of those builds that I've just mentioned. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you in the next video.